Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's going on, LumioseStation? ShadyPenguinn here, back with another episode of Pokemon Scrabble versus. Before we get started, if you can, please show some Shady love, some Lumiose love to that like button right below this video. Seriously, your support on this series means so much to me, the Shady people, and everyone here in Lumiose. We have this blue bag full of Scrabble letters, but we also have with us a guest. Our opponent, the enemy, is going to be the sickest Sarcasm in the room. Sarcasm, the sickness, you can say hello.
Hey there, everybody. How you doing today?
This is Sarcasm, and she is a lovely, lovely lady. She is actually, dare I say it? I mean, are we allowed to say this on I mean,
we're allowed to say things. Yes.
She's
what?
Pedro's girlfriend.
Yee,
The great
that's a thing.
Bulbasaurus. But we're not gonna get too sappy. Because we're here, this is not a dating show, this is not Maury, we're not trying to figure out who the daddy is, we're here to pick some letters, and as always, we're going to pick Sarcasm's first letter first. Is there any specific, I don't know if you thought about it at all, I know I literally just asked you like maybe 10 minutes ago, but is there any letter specifically that you would like to see out of this bag on your team?
Ooh,
You don't have to tell me the Pokemon.
I like M.
You like N?
M.
M,
like
as in mommy.
Mary?
Mary.
Yep, Mary, mommy. Yeah.
Perfect. All right, let's see. Let's see if we can get you that. And by the way, I didn't mention it, but Sarcasm will be keeping track of all of her letters in wherever she wants. Skype chat on her arm. I don't care. Artists are crazy, so maybe she'll write it on her wall. We'll just see what happens, and we'll go over.
Write on the roof of the car. True.
Yeah. There. Oh, yeah, right on the car. But your first letter, actually, Sarcasm, is an I.
Interesting.
So, yeah. There's a couple sneaky Pokemon in there.
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I can think of a few.
Yeah. That's good. My first letter. My first letter is the M that Sarcasm wanted.
Oh no!
Yup, there we go. Now you don't have to tell me. Let me see. There's so many M options. You got Manaphy.
There's so many.
I can powerful Eviolite Mankey. Oh.
Ooh.
All right, let's see. Your second letter is going to be an H. The H that I just recently grew across the room. So now you currently have high. Everyone say hi. Hashtag hi Sarcasm in the comment section below.
Please do.
If you made it 3 minutes into this video, hashtag hi Sarcasm, because that's impressive. That attention span is woohoo! All right, my second letter is going to be an S. So I got SM. Shaking my, and Sarcasm already got the H, so I can't be head. I wonder what I'm going to be shaking. That could get, we're not going to continue that conversation right now.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good idea.
No. Sarcasm's third letter is going to be an A. So she has.
So I'm still high.
So now you're now you're high. Now you're high. Hi. Now you're the kawaii high.
Hi.
My third letter is going to be. I got the fluffing X.
Ooh. I can see this going lovely places.
I'm bringing
Absolutely
Xerneas. I don't care. I'm bringing Xerneas.
Well.
No, I'm not. I can't. No Ubers. No Ubers. Not this week.
Well, there goes the battle.
Yeah, there it is. Just Geomancy. Good game. Your fourth letter is going to be, and I just threw that in your guys' face, an R.
Ooh.
So you have hair.
Ooh, I do.
Hair. You might get an
hair.
actual word, which would be ridiculous.
Please.
That would be amazing. I have no word. I have no chance for a word right now. My You've got to be kidding me.
Oh.
My fourth letter is the Y. So I have both X and Y. All I need is Q to complete this. This is gonna be one of the worst teams that I've ever had to build on Scrabble.
This is lovely. I'm excited for this.
I'm sure you're loving it because you just got a J.
Ooh.
And a J. There goes your word. Now you have Jer.
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 Jer. Lovely. Perfect.
I mean, J. There's a couple sneaky ones.
Could be hairs.
Oh, yeah, it could be hairs. Hairs. You gotta comb your hairs. I just got a D, so I have like 60. I basically have I have MD Sexy right now without the E. I
that works.
I will have Dr. Sexy essentially. Your sixth and final letter is going to be. She got the Q.
Oh no!
I am so grateful that you at least got one of the doo-doo butter letters.
Doo-doo butter.
Doo-doo butter letters. I'm so glad you got one of them.
I mean, at least it's slightly fair.
Yeah,
what do you
exactly.
Get?
I got an X. I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest. Y is not a bad letter. It's just limited. Like
it's very limited.
It's just obvious who I'm gonna have to bring. But let's see. My final letter. I can get like just give me. Come on, bag. Don't let me down. I've been using you for so long. You gave me an F. I can deal with an F. There are some good Pokemon in F. So All the letters have been chosen. You guys, of course, we're going to go over the letters one more time and go ahead and build your teams in the comment section below. Let me know what you think we should have done, because chances are you guys are better than, well, I know you're better than me, so you'll build a better team than me. But let's see how Sarcasm does. Sarcasm, what are your letters? You can read your 6 letters off for us.
I have I, H, A, R, J, and Q.
Nice. And then my 6 letters are M, S, X, Y, D, F. So when I get back, I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be in the opening scenes of a battle with Sarcasm the Sickness as my parents yell at the Giants game in the background.
Yes, Giants go!
I know, it's for parents who get football. You guys don't want to hear about that. Sarcasm, thank you so much for being in this portion. And you have anything you want to say to the crowd? Are you going to win? Are you going to lose? Are you nervous? Are you...
I am quite nervous, but I'm nervous getting into every battle, so I mean, I don't know.
So she's trying to lull me into a false sense of security, basically, is what she's saying. I'm always nervous, but then for some reason I 5-0 my opponents. It's really weird. I don't know.
Please. I wish.
Well, when we get back, like I said, we'll be in the middle of battle, and I'm going to say back like 4 more times, so I will be right back. Alright, LumioStation, so we are back with our opponent team battle ready. I'm wearing a different shirt because it's actually a different day because the Nintendo servers were down and it's making everything worse. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys the team that I have. Of course, for X and Y, I have Zatsu and Yunmeg. You know, it's funny, we recorded the first part on the X and Y anniversary and I pulled X and Y. Weird! Go figure. Then for D, I have Darmantia in my eyebrows. For M, I brought Static Shock. For my F, I brought Hazardous, and for S, I brought my Grats on 1200 Sylveon, a gift from a subscriber that I still use to this day. He was actually congratulations on 1200 subs, and I still love the little bugger, so I use it frequently. I don't really know how this is gonna work out. I do have I have 2 Pokemon weak to fire, and only 1 resistance, and that resistance is pretty frail, mainly used to hit hard. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into this battle right away, not waste any time, and see how poorly we're gonna do against Tara's team. I know she has the Q. Let's see what she's got. She's got Jolting on Quagsire, Registeel, Infernape, Hydreigon, and a Mega Aerodactyl. That is a powerful team. Common weaknesses on there. 2 Pokemon weak to water, but 1 resistance and a possible water absorb on the Quagsire. I think the Quagsire gets water absorb. I could be totally wrong about that. But we're gonna see. I do actually pack the HP Grass on this Manectric, so that's gonna be really useful for me. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open up with my, I'm gonna get hazards up as soon as possible. Because I think the only way I'm gonna really win this is if I get some hazards up. Otherwise, I'm pretty much up a creek because the Infernape is there and that's fire, and that's deadly, and that's bad for me. So I gotta go ahead and just get that gone. I need to get that gone as soon as possible. Get that Infernape out of here. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be shuffling cards a lot in my videos from now on because I'm gonna keep sleeved cards on my desk all the time. The Dragon Ball Z card game comes out in only 3 short days. Well, technically 4. It comes out on Friday. I'm recording this on Monday if you couldn't tell. Madness Power! Actually, if you're watching this on LumioStation, the Dragon Ball Z card game comes out tomorrow. Or 11 o'clock at night if you're going to a preview event like I am. Yes, I am, and I will probably vlog the entire thing, even though it's out of locals, and it's gonna be weird to talk around people that know me, that don't realize who I am, or don't realize that I have a YouTube channel rather, so it's gonna be weird. But let's get started on this battle regardless of weirdness, you know, let's just do it. Tara is issuing the challenge. She's got black stars. Opens up with Armageddon, the shiny Hydreigon. That is a powerful nickname, as I open up with Hazardous. Now, I'm pretty positive this thing is gonna have some sort of fire type attack. I'm pretty positive. But I don't really have anything that I want to take it with. I mean, I could go into Sylveon. Actually, Sylveon is my best bet. I'm going to go right out into Sylveon. I don't even want to set up my hazards. I just want to go right out into Sylveon. Hopefully, she did not go for the U-turn, because that would really bite if she did. She went for the Fire Blast outright, lands it. Sylveon's going to be able to eat it up. Nice and, ooh, is that Specs? Yeah, that's not Stab. I think that's Specs. I'm going to go ahead and with that information, assume that she is Specs, and that she's going to hard switch out into the Registeel. With that knowledge, I am going to hard switch out into Darmanitan. Because I really think that that Hydreigon is Specs, and she can't take a Moonblast, obviously. I'm going to have to save the Sylveon for this Hydreigon at some point. I feel like those are going to be the last 2 Pokemon around. Unless something else manages to kill the Hydreigon. But I really feel as though this Sylveon is going to be the Hydreigon killer of this game. But I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. Totally wrong. It is so hot in my room. She's going to hard switch out into the Registeel. So, nice double switch on my part, very early in the game to be doing things like this, but I have nothing to hit this Registeel with my gosh diggity darn Sylveon. So I had to switch out, really, because I knew the Registeel was coming in. At this point, I will just go for a Flare Blitz. If she wants to go out into the Quagsire, so be it. Well, because I just made a double switch, most players get into the mindset of, oh, my opponent is going to be over-predicting now. So let me just go ahead and get my rocks up and call it a day. But I'm just going to go straight up for the Choice Scarf, Flare Blitz, try to stay a step ahead of Tara. But who knows if that's going to be the case? Who knows? Knows. Eyes don't knows. Eyes don't knows. She is going to withdraw, unfortunately, go out into the Quagsire. I'm assuming, yep, there's Derpet. Derpet is the female Quagsire, also shiny purple. And Flare Blitz is not going to do too much to Derpet. It's not going to do too much to Derpet. It really won't. Look at that. That's nothing. That's pathetic scum damage. We don't see leftovers, but we do... Oh, we do see leftovers, actually. It was after the recoil. I thought I was seeing Rocky Helmet for a second, but I was not. I was actually seeing recoil. Let's go ahead and get the Heckles out of here. I'm going to go right out into my Yanmega, first Mega. Because Yanmega can hit a lot of things on my opponent's team. She might predict the Yanmega and go out into something else, but it's okay. I can hit the Quagsire. I can hit the... That's really it. But I can hit the Jolteon for neutral. I can hit the Hydreigon for super effective with a Bug Buzz. And then Registeel I don't have anything for. Registeel's going to be a huge problem for me. Registeel's going to be a monumental problem. I'm glad she didn't set up those rocks because my Yanmega would have taken 50%. I do have a Rapid Spinner on this team, obviously in the Fortress, but I'm not trying to spin. I'm trying to set up. I'm trying to set up the hazards. I really am. I really am. I just didn't think it would be. I didn't think it was smart to go ahead and sack off the Hazardous right away to the Hydreigon Fire Blast. I didn't think it was smart. Didn't seem like the wise decision. Eyebrows, get back here. We got to trim those things at some point. Those things are massive. We're going to go on to the first Mega ever, Yanmega. And she's going to withdraw Derpet and probably go into Registeel. Goes out into Infernape. Enchanté, little girl. I see you, big dog, on your woof woof. I'm going to go ahead and go for the safe Protect. Scout out what my opponent wants to do. Possibly go for a U-turn, maybe. Predicting a switch, because we are extremely switch heavy right now. We are extremely switch heavy. And I don't really know where this is going to go. This might be the most intense Scrabble battle. Because I don't know how much patience I have right now for all this gosh diggity darn switching, especially since I'm just going to Protect here, which means we're going to be taking up double time as far as turn making goes. Because I'm going to Protect, and we're going to see if she's going to go straight up for a Flare Blitz or is she going to go for a U-turn. She goes for the U-turn. I'm hoping that she's going to lock herself into that, but I seriously doubt it. I'm pretty sure she's going to be Life Orb. Regardless, I'm going to go for an Air Slash here because even if Yanmega goes down, I have other ways to take care of that Quagsire with my HP Grass Manectric. And I'm okay with that, gosh darn it. Now she's going to withdraw the Infernape, showing me that she's definitely choice going out into the Registeel. Unfortunately going out into the Registeel, which means she is going to get her rocks up at some point. I don't think my Yanmega is going to do anything, and I'm just going to be taking Life Orb Recoil, which means I do want to get the heck out of here. Unfortunately, super unfortunate that this situation is happening. Because I'm at +2, but I only have Giga Drain and Bug Buzz, and neither of those are going to do much to you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go out into Eyebrows. I know the Stealth Rocks are coming. I understand. I can deal with it as much as I don't want to. I do have to get Stealth Rocks up to my opponent's side of the field as soon as possible because this is clearly going to be a switch-heavy battle. Ideally, what I'll do here is I will U-turn out as my opponent switches out back into the Quag. And I can go ahead get my what do you call yourself? Fortress out. I can get my Fortress out, set up my Stealth Rock, start getting some spikes up because honestly, the Registeel needs to be worn away by spikes. It's like the only way because she's going to keep preserving this thing. In fact, she might predict the U-turn and stay in. She just miggity might. But I think she's going to go ahead and go for the switch into the Quagsire. Just a little bit too risky to lose her special wall so early on in the game. Just a little too early. I know it feels like it's been a while. It's been 6 minutes. And for me, it feels even longer because I'm actually not listening to any music right now. I don't even have the game audio on because you guys are listening to Glitch City. And I totally didn't put any music on for myself. So that stinks. Yeah. Yeah, that stinks. Yeah. I'm really, really interested because she is taking quite some time with her moves, but she did say she was somewhat new to battling. So, you know what? She could take all the time she needs. She could take all of the time. She could take, right, she could find a watch. She can put it in her pocket. She could just take the time. Ha! Jokes, punnies, funnies! But I am getting a little impatient, to be honest. I feel as though I am being strung along by a string. So she is going to withdraw. I'm assuming the Quagsire is going to come out. Derpet is back here again, once again, slowly getting dwindled away. And this is great because I can go out. I can go out either into Manectric, or I can go out into my Yanmega. But there's really no reason to go out into Yanmega. I could also get hazards up as soon as possible. I actually think that's what I'm going to do before I get anything else going on. I'm not even going to get rid of my rocks first. I'm going to get rocks up first. I want to get my rocks up on my opponent's side of the field because she does not have a spinner. So if I can get rocks up, all this swiggity switching that she keeps doing, I'll actually be able to combat it a little bit. A little bit. Just a wee bit. Just a wee bit. I would assume she's either going to switch here out into the Infernape or go ahead and go for the recover. She might want to recover up. Regardless, I would rather have rocks on both sides of her field than just one. So I'm going to go ahead and get these rocks up, have them on her side, and if I can rapid spin on the following turn, that would be fantastic. That really would be nice. She's going to withdraw Derpet, bringing her switch count to 5, and goes out into the Infernape, trying to create solid situations for herself here, and I'm going to get my rocks up, which is just fantastic. We already know this thing is choiced in some form because she did switch out on that U-turn. At least I believe it is. Here is where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to go ahead and stay in and die to a Flare Blitz, really hoping that Tara goes for a U-turn. Ooh, oh! She went for the overheat but missed. I got to lay her spikes up. That is huge. That is huge. That is bigger than anything I can possibly describe right now. Wow. Okay. I don't know who else I want to go into, but now at this point, I want to get more hazards up. I could have got a rapid spin off. Oh, I should have got... And I have a magic bouncer. I totally forgot about my magic bouncer. Ugh. Alright. Alright, let's do this. Do I stay in again and risk the... You know what? I think she's going to predict the switch here. She's going to predict the switch here. I'm going to go ahead and go for the rapid spin. I really think she's going to predict the switch. No! She went for the overheat. That is a completely dead fortress. So rocks are here to stay on my side of the field. Unfortunately, that is going to be really bad for us. I'd say the only good thing I have going for me right now is the fact that my Manectric does a number on a butt ton of my opponent's members. I really wish I would have gotten the rapid spin off instead of the 1 extra layer of spikes, but we're going to see if that really pays off or not. I'm going to be able to go ahead here, and I'm just going to go for the Thunderbolt. I have no reason to... Ooh, you know what? I should have gone for Flamethrower. That Jolteon's coming in. That Jolteon is coming right in. I clicked way too soon. I clicked way too soon. The quickness of my clicking matches the quickness of Jolteon. Way too soon. So I'm sure it's going to be Volt Absorb. So my opponent has 2 electric immunities. Huh. There goes the Infernape, and I really want to see Derpet, but I'm pretty sure... Oh! Okay, Derpet is in. I'd so much rather that than see Jolteon. Because I do have, like I said, the HP Grass. And seeing how my opponent brought in the Quagsire, she doesn't think I have the HP Grass. Because it's not... HP Ice is much more standard. Much more standard. But HP Grass really is... I really think it's necessary for Manectric. With Quagsire, Swampert, things like that running around, I really feel like you need to have HP Grass on this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and go... Oh, I clicked Flamethrower! Why is Flamethrower in the bottom right? HP Grass is supposed to be in the bottom right. Can I get a burn to make up for that? There's the recover. Oh my goodness! That is a silly misclick. Now, I don't know if HP Grass is actually going to kill. So that might have cost me like the entire game. I'm going to go for the HP Grass like I meant to in the first place. But now my opponent might switch out, predicting a switch. And that is just going to throw momentum completely out of my range. Completely out of my range. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that Infernape is actually Choice Scarfed. Because we did see both the U-turn and the overheat. Here's the HP. That should be... Oh! See? And it would have died before. It would have died before. I'm going to get smacked with a waterfall, and that is going to do a decent amount of damage to me. More than I wanted to take in the first place. Now, there's a chance she might predict the HP grass again. From this range, flamethrower will kill, so there's no reason for me not to go for the flamethrower. Before, it was a complete misclick. It was a complete and utter misclick. I wanted to go for the HP grass. It wasn't happening. At this point, I have to go for flamethrower because it is stronger than going for HP grass on most of my opponent's team. The Registeel, well, actually, mainly just the Registeel and the Infernape. And the Hydreigon. Yeah. Okay, so solid move on my part. Solid move on my part. Because Flamethrower will kill Dirtbat from that range, as we saw before, because we learned from the misclick, which is good information, I guess, but we could have just killed it with the HP Grass. It's unbelievable. Static Shock coming through, but the trainer of Static Shock just doesn't understand. Just doesn't understand how to play the game. Really does not. She is going to stay in as I go for a Flamethrower, and that will take out Dirtbat. It's a crit. Crit did not matter at all because it did enough damage last time to do the damage that Dirtbat just had left on itself. So we're going to see who my opponent's going to opt to go out into. I'm guessing the Infernape. I'm really thinking the Infernape. Thankfully, the Infernape is going to take some damage from the Stealth Rock and the spikes because it is Choice Scarf, and I'm going to have a bit of trouble dealing with that thing. Everything on my opponent's team is going to take damage switching in. Hydreigon and Aerodactyl, quite a bit less, but it's all good. It's all good. I think we're in a pretty good spot. Now getting rid of that Quagsire. So I love running HP Grass on Manectric. It's always a good time. Always a good time. Especially when you know your opponent picks a Q. Because you want to bring the HP Grass when your opponent brings a Q. Because they're bringing Quagsire or Quillfish. And you got the electric coverage. Quillfish anyway, and then you have the HP Grass for that thing. Konoha is going to come in. Konoha is the Jolteon. Almost making me feel like this thing is Choice Scarfed because bringing it in is super interesting. Huh. Well, I could go on into Sylveon, but I think I'm just going to stay in and go for the Flamethrower. Because I know I outspeed, and this should do a good chunk. Okay, it doesn't do nearly as much as I thought it would. My opponent goes for the Shadow Ball. Really wishing I had switched out because Static Shock can take that, but unfortunately cannot take a re-entry of Stealth Rock. So I am going to have to stay in here and just let this thing go. Not that it would have been kind of nice to have for the Aerodactyl, definitely. But if I could just chip away at my opponent's team by staying in and not doing all this switching, then you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I really am. I really am. Although, like I said, thinking back, Manectric would have been great for Aerodactyl. Would have been absolutely fantastic. She's going to withdraw Konoha now. Not wanting to risk it, goes into Armageddon the Hydreigon. Pretty much knowing that I don't have HP Ice now. So she feels as though, hey, I have this freedom to come in and do whatever I want. Get burnt! No burn. Okay. So at this point, I will go ahead and save my Manectric for Death Fodder. I'm going to go for the Volt Switch. No reason not to, because I do have a Sylveon, which I feel like my opponent will go for a Dragon-type move. Ooh, outspeeds with a Flash Cannon. Oh, wow. I'm really glad that they outsped. So that's your Choice Scarfer. All right. I see you, big dog, on your woof woof. I really do. All right, with Jolteon almost gone, I have to play smart here. I'm gonna go out into Xatu, I think. I don't want to go into Darmanitan. Actually, you know what? If I go into Darmanitan, I could just go for a U-turn on the switch. Because she can fear that she's gonna fear the superpower. U-turn's still gonna hurt this thing no matter what. So even though I'm gonna take some damage from the Stealth Rocks, this will put me in a bit better position to go ahead and U-turn out on something that'll hurt it. He really can't. My opponent can't switch in the Infernape that many times with the Stealth Rocks and the Spikes up. Really can't. Hydreigon is clearly Choice Scarfed at this point. It outsped a Mega Manectric, which means I have no idea what that Infernape is. No idea. Maybe it's not Choice at all. Tara is going to withdraw Armageddon and go out into the Infernape. Possibly could have killed it with a Flare Blitz, actually. I really could have. But I'm going to go ahead, let the Stealth Rock and the spikes take their toll. I will go for a U-turn here, and that is going to do pretty much no damage. Yeah, pretty much no damage. However, it will allow me to go out into Sylveon. I got to get rid of this Registeel before I go out into Yanmega and try to set up. I really have to. I'm going to go out into Sylveon here. And because I know that Registeel is a thing, I'm just going to go for a Wish. There's a chance that my opponent might stay in, but I really don't think so. And if I could just force some switches and let the entry hazards do their job, I should be able to come back from this low game right now. I mean, it's only 4-5. The score difference is only by 1, and Jolteon is severely injured. So Jolteon's not going to have much time on the field. Not much time at all. Infernape is going to reveal the fact that it is definitely not choice in any fashion. It's probably Focus Sash because it did have the overheat. She's going to go for the U-turn and get herself into possibly Aerodactyl. But most likely Registeel. Registeel is her go-to Pokemon with Sylveon here. Definitely. Starting to really regret bringing the Sylveon. Simply just because of the Registeel. Honestly. And the Choice Scarf Hydreigon is a solid check, but I could take one non-stab Flash Cannon. I definitely could. So if my opponent does go into Hydreigon here, that would be kind of nice for me, because I can go for a Protect. But something tells me it's either Aerodactyl or Registeel, and I'm really feeling the Registeel. There's the Registeel as I get a Wish off. I'm wondering what this Registeel is going to run. Because we saw these Stealth Rocks, I'm going to assume that this Registeel is going to want to put some sort of status on my Sylveon, like Toxic. Maybe Thunder Wave, but most likely Toxic. Either way, I'm going to switch out into my Xatu. Because I can paralyze something with that thing, you know? I can go ahead and paralyze something, and I feel as though that would be extremely, extremely nice. She picked her move real fast, so she knew what she wanted to do. She's possibly going for an Iron Head. You can catch a bunch of Iron Heads. We're going to see. We're going to get our Stealth Rock damage. Goes for the T-Wave, going to bounce back and paralyze this Registeel. That is exactly what I wanted to see. It's so much better than her having Toxic. For me, so much better than her having Toxic. So, late game Magic Bounce really worked out in my favor. Going to go ahead and assume that my opponent is going to switch out into something. Because of that, I kind of want to go for the Thunder Wave of my own. I don't think she'll stay in, so I'm going to go for a Thunder Wave of my own, try to get two of my opponent's Pokemon in the Parahaxing mood. I don't think she'd go out into Jolteon with how little health Jolteon has left. I think she's going to want to safe switch in for that. Then again, if she predicts the T-Wave and gets the Volt Absorb off, that's going to be huge for her. That is going to be absolutely fantastic for her. Unfortunately. Unfortunately! The crickets are cricketing. Don't you know? Stayed in and went for the Iron Head. Let's see how much this does. That does more than I wanted to, actually. This might turn into a little bit of a Stally Fest right here. Because I have to see how much Psychic does. I have to see how much Psychic does. I really didn't expect her to stay in, but now that she knows I have the Thunder Wave, there's no chance of her switching in like an Infernape or a Hydreigon. Had I gone for the Psychic last turn, maybe she'd switch into the Hydreigon predicting Psychic. But I would be shocked if she's just going to stay in on the Psychic. We'll see how much it does. Probably not going to do too much. No, it barely does leftovers. She's going to go for the Seismic Toss. That's going to do 50 damage. So that's going to smart. That is going to smart. Definitely, without a doubt. But I am not so easily amused. I'm going to have to go for a Roost here. And maybe she's trying to force the Roost. It's possible. So she can get a safe switch in. But she's forcing it, all right. She is forcing the Roost. Forcing my hand to click that Roost. And we got nowhere in the past 3 turns. Absolutely nowhere. Because what? She's probably going to get fully paralyzed too. She probably will. She probably will. Let's see. Nope. She got her Iron Head off, and that is going to do... does 49. So it does less than the Seismic Toss. And at this point, I will go for a U-turn. Maybe she'll want to switch out, being a little impatient. That would be nice. If not, I need to get this battle rolling. And I am clearly in the negative right now as far as this matchup goes. However, if she switches out and I get to switch out into something like Darmanitan. Whew! Okay, so I'm going to outspeed. She is staying in with Registeel. Quagsire's gone. So the only Pokemon my opponent can really switch out into would be the Hydreigon to take a hit from Darmanitan. So I am going to I'm going to go into Darmanitan. I'm going to hope my opponent gets paralyzed because I really don't want to take anything after these Stealth Rocks. I don't. Nope, but she's going to get her Seismic Toss off. No Para Hacks for us just yet. And Seismic Toss is going to do 50 damage. And Darmanitan is basically dead at this point, which is huge for my opponent. I could try to get a Wish off and switch and Wish, but that's really not worth it to me. I'm just going to go for a Flare Blitz at this point. Do a solid amount of damage to any of her Pokemon. Even the Hydreigon won't appreciate it. I could have gone for the Superpower, which 110% would have been the better play. Super effective on Hydreigon, neutral on Aerodactyl, neutral on Infernape, and I just made a really bad play. She is going to withdraw, and I'm going to die to Recoil. I could have just gotten 2 superpowers off. She goes out into the Infernape. The only good news is that Infernape is not going to live this hit after the Stealth Rocks and the Spikes. There's no chance of Infernape living this hit. However, a superpower would have been fantastic. Even though my attack and defense does drop at that point, and I probably would just get bopped by something else, I would have gotten more damage off on something else. And damage is damage at this point. Because there goes eyebrows. Someone just trimmed those eyebrows. Oh! Someone just trimmed those eyebrows. It is way too hot in here for me to be doing this. Registeel is still around, which, and I don't have any offensive Pokemon, so I'm pretty sure this is GG at this point. I don't have anything to get through that Registeel. Because my Yanmega would just crumble the Life Orb, and I'm hoping that my opponent can just kind of set up and deal with me. Just go ahead and take me out. She didn't even have to set up. Aerodactyl, she should just be able to bop everything. She should be able to bop everything that she needs to. That's realistically what should happen here. I will go for the Thunder Wave just to paralyze this thing. There's a chance she'll switch out into Registeel, but I'm pretty sure she's got this one. My letters were just too rough to handle. Too rough to handle. And then that terrible play of not going for Superpower, definitely gonna bite me in the butt. I mean, Aerodactyl could take -1 Superpower from Darmanitan anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But there's the Stone Edge. It does connect, and Zatu's just gonna crumble to just fall. Just gonna straight up fall. I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm not gonna go out into my Yanmega here. Not that it matters, actually, now that I'm looking at it. Doesn't really matter. I should have went into Yanmega, because now I feel like my opponent's gonna go out into the Aerodactyl. Go out into the Registeel. But I think she should just stay in. Go for. I'm not gonna Wish Protect Stall. I'm just gonna go for Moonblast. If my opponent goes out into Registeel, I'm gonna go ahead and let her kill my Sylveon with an Iron Head. I'm really hoping she does just stay in and try to get damage off, because she can kill me with even an Aerial Ace will take out Sylveon. But something tells me she is gonna make the safer and the correct play and go out into the Registeel. Okay, good. She's going to stay in and go for the Hone Claws. That is awesome. She probably predicted the Wish, but her going for Hone Claws is great because it means she won't miss a Stone Edge after this. And that's awesome, because we can just get this game on the road. Just kick it on the bus. Kick it on the bus. Kick it right on the bus. And down goes the Sylveon, I'm sure. And I'm going to just go out into my first Mega and watch him die to the Stealth Rocks that I haphazardly let my opponent set up. I was just not on my game today. Had we recorded this yesterday, maybe the battle would have been a little bit different. I would be more aware, but I have a lot in my head right now. So clearly I am not at the top place to be battling at all. So Stone Edge is going to connect, and that is going to be the end of this week's Scrabble. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Your support on this series really does mean everything. I'm glad to see you guys are still enjoying Versus. I promise next week I will be a bit more on my game and be able to make the correct plays maybe once or twice, like magic bouncing the obvious Stealth Rocks that I knew were coming, but I just switched down to something else instead. So Who knows? Who cares? I hope you enjoyed your time at Lumios. Be sure to check out all the other conductors here. We make a lot of content for your viewing pleasure. Have yourselves a good day. But above all else, keep it shady.